Dublin Red gets the job done for Pete Fernie and Lucy Fiore. It's always great to see Lucy booting home some winners in her dad's colours. And out at Kalgoorlie as well, she's now ridden 3 winners on today's program, Michael. I don't know if you're more excited about that today or the Eagles. Harley Reid just kicking a goal from 55 out. They're now ahead by 25 points. I know we're both very strong Eagles supporters, and I don't want to call the early crow, but bit of a Daniel Gorringe about it. Things are looking very good right now.
Don't say that, Tessa. We need this. No, Lucy's doing a great job, but I'm more invested into the Eagles at the moment today. But hopefully Lucy can ride another winner here because she's got a great opportunity. Ryewood looks very hard to beat. 3rd run back, put the writing on the wall last start. I think this horse looks really well placed to score its first win of the preparation.
Another favourite, so perhaps the not so favourite today would be the football. But our attention comes onto racing, and Ryewood is the favourite at the moment, and it looks a good thing as mentioned on paper. Saddles up with Pete Fernie again. We know how dominant Lucy and Pete are here at the KBRC, and runners are in the yard ahead of race number 6 now. The Rotary Club of Boulder, Peter Palmer Memorial Handicap. This race was named after what we had our mascot run earlier. Unfortunately, Michael didn't get the suit on. He didn't get the call up as the first emergency, but it's a great initiative here. And to remember a great member of the community today over the 1,600 metres, the one is Ryewood. Peter Fernie, Lucy Fiore.
No, I did my warm-up, did my stretching, but wasn't able to gain a start, unfortunately. But Ryewood, on the other hand, has and should be really hard to beat. 3rd start this campaign. Scottish Laird has had the better of her at the past 2 starts, but she gets a weight swing from the first effort, but not the second, because she was ridden by an apprentice on that occasion in Amy Jo Hayes, but she's replaced by a senior rider in Lucy Fiore here. So she actually meets Scottish Laird a kilo worse for being beaten, but she still looks very, very well placed with Lucy's booking. She ran the fastest last 8, 6, 4, 200 metre splits of the race last start to miss by only a head, and she's had 3 starts this track distance for a win in 2 seconds. She's a really nice Kalgoorlie horse over ground. She's at peak fitness now. She's never won first up or second up, so I'm expecting her to peak today and next start. I think she's super hard to beat.
The 2, Santa Bray, a new trained Ross Craig here. Really nice type, and potentially for later on throughout the season. First up, Chanel Cooper rides.
Always a lovely type to look at in the yard, Santa Bray. Formerly trained by Ross Price, now with Ross Craig, but set somewhat of a task. First up here, no trial at the 1,600 metres. Has never won first up from 4 starts. Has never won second up from 4 starts. So you'd expect him to need it today. Also a little bit of a sticky map. I was taking on Santa Bray first up.
And the 3 is one of my all-time favourite gallopers, Feuding, Peter Fernie and Braden Garth.
Given a pretty good push by Peter Fernie earlier today, I thought, and I'm expecting him to be really sharply improved today in his next start as well. He's having his 4th start of his campaign, and importantly, he returns to Kalgoorlie. He's won 3 races in his life. They've all been here at Kalgoorlie. In fact, he's had 6 starts here at this track for 3 wins and 3 seconds. Clearly excels here in the Goldfields, but he's drawn the outside barrier. He hasn't won in nearly 1,000 days. He's probably going to get back in the ruck and run on. I think he'll be hard to beat next start. I'm interested to see how he goes today.
Loves Kalgoorlie, and one to look out for in the future, no doubt. The 4 is Scottish Laird, Ricky Brown and Kiriel.
Looks the logical danger to Ryewood, doesn't he? He's beaten Ryewood the past 2 starts. 2 starts ago was a really slowly run race. He was suited on speed. Last start, he ended up taking up the running in what was, again, a really slowly run race, which actually played against Ryewood. But she still, Scottish Laird, should still held on to win at this track distance. Drops 1.5 kilos as well. Meets Ryewood 1 kilo better for beating her as well. So he's well placed, he's well weighted, and despite drawing barrier 10 out of 11, 9 out of 10 after the scratching of Prize Jewel, he has the early speed to be able to roll forward and land outside leader.
Has found some fantastic form since winning an Esperance at that $26 quote back on the 21st of March. The 5 is one more for Leo, Brett Drury, Alex Hearn.
3rd up this preparation, unplaced first up 5 starts, unplaced second up 4 starts. So I'm expecting him to improve today in his next couple of runs really quickly, but his runs haven't been bad either. 4.5 lengths Scottish Laird first up, 3 lengths ZBD Springs last time out. The senior rider jumps aboard for the first time this campaign, and he's stepping up to a suitable track distance. I think he'll run a cheeky race at double figures today, and he should really improve his next couple.
The next horse to preview is the 6 Callaroo, Rod Brown and Zephyr Johnson Porter.
Oh, he's hard to catch, isn't he, Callaroo? He's a model of consistency, though. He's been in the money at 25 of his 63 career starts, but he hasn't won in more than 1,100, nearing 1,200 days. But I'm going to put him into my top 3 because I like the booking of Zephyr Johnston Porter here. He drops 4 kilos on his last run. He's finishing the money at 4 of his 6 starts this track distance, and from barrier 1, he should do no work. He gets really good weight pulls on horses like Scottish Laird, 3 kilos in fact from last start for being beaten only a length and a half by him. On weights and measures, he should really be in the finish in a race like this, but he has found it super difficult for winning another race since his last win in Esperance a couple of years ago now, or a few years ago now, in fact.
1,169 days to be exact. The 7 is Mountain Ash, Paul Tapper, and Ava Caterino replaces the injured Rocky Chung.
The concern for mine is 5 starts at Kalgoorlie, yet to place. Can find the front here, though, in a race without a huge amount of natural speed, and 5 of his 6 wins throughout his career have been at 1,600 metres, and he steps up from the 14 to the mile today. So expecting improvement, but I've left him out.
Magic Will Reign is the 8, Trevor Tasker, Kesha Duran.
Blinkers go on this 8-year-old today, and he hasn't been too far away his last couple. Beaten 3 3/4 Scottish Laird 2 starts ago, 3 lengths Scottish Laird last start, and he drops 3.5 kilos here with the Shanes going on as well. He ticks a couple of boxes. He could be an improver.
The 9 Prize Jewel from the Tapper Yard is a scratching, so we move on to 10, Dancing Jack, Pamela Oram and Lisa Staples.
Thought it looked tough for this 9-year-old today. He's racing 7 points outside the handicap. He hasn't threatened at all his first few runs back, and he probably settles last from the gate.
And the 11 is Northern Ivy, Paul Tapper and Natika Riordan.
500 days since he last saluted. The blinkers go on here, but he's been really well beaten his last 2 here at Kalgoorlie, so he'd have to improve too much for mine.
Looking at the market now, it looks like it could be another favourite to get across the line. Lucy Fiore to get up to win number 4 on today's program. Ryewood, $2.40 now into $1.85. Scottish Laird on the second line of betting, $4.60 into $3.30, now back out to $6. Everybody wants to know about Ryewood here today. Third start of the preparation on the third line of betting is feuding, $6 out to $8.50. Santa Bray, $7.50 out to $10. One more for Leo, $12. Callaroo, apologies, $14. Mountain Ash, $17. Magic Will Reign, $12 out to $23. Northern Ivy, $26. And the rank outsider in the second last on today's program is Dancing Jack at $91. Michael, how are we seeing things play out here in the Rotary Club of Boulder Peter Palmer Memorial Handicap, where we remember a great member of the community in this race?
I think there's going to be a 3-wide line in this race, Tessa, because there is a bit of speed engaged. It's a 10-horse field, and so I think there will be a horse that's caught 3 deep. It's probably Santa Bray. It may be Scottish Laird, but either way, I thought Mountain Ash had a good opportunity to roll to the top. Thought Scottish Laird, whilst drawing the outside, could still roll forward to land outside leader. If he doesn't, he's probably 3 deep. Santa Bray is the other horse that has natural speed that will probably be rolling in the first half of the field as well. Northern Ivy can settle on speed. So I did think there'd be a 3-wide train, and for that reason, Ryewood's draw in barrier number 6 in this 10-horse field, whilst a little bit awkward on paper, I thought could play out nicely. She can probably land 3 deep cover here, or if she is able to get one off the fence, that's perfect. But either way, I thought she'd have a back to follow, and I thought she'd be super hard to beat. Third run back, she's been ridden by apprentices her first 2 starts. She drops a half a kilo here, and she gets Lucy Fiore aboard, who's looking for her 4th winner of the day. Third up as well today, Ryewood. She's never won first up or second up, but she usually peaks further into her campaign. So I think third up today, she should take a stack of beating. 1 for me, Ryewood, from 4, 6 and 3. 4 being Scottish Laird, who has defeated Ryewood his past 2 starts, but he actually meets her a kilo better from the last start effort as well, because Ryewood goes from an apprentice to a senior rider. So he's well placed, he's well weighted, and he does have the natural speed to be able to overcome that wide draw. I can see him working across to land outside leader, and from there he'll have a field position advantage on Ryewood, and he'll certainly be the main danger. He's won 6 from 16 throughout his career, so he's really progressing into be a nice type. 6 in Callaroo, 0 from 20 here at Kalgoorlie, but he's placed on 10 occasions, including 4 from 6 this track distance. He's brilliantly weighted in this race, drops 4.5 kilos after the claim, and he gets really good weight pulls on his rivals, as well as drawing to get the run of the race. And 3 feuding back to Kalgoorlie. All 3 career wins for this 6-year-old have been here at Cal. He's also placed on a further 3 occasions from 6 starts, and he's 1 from 1 this track distance. 1, 4, 6 and 3.
1, 4, 6 and 3 here for Michael in the race number 6. 1, Ryewood on top. Lucy Fiore looking for win number 4 on today's program. Her first appearance at the Kalgoorlie Boulder Race Club for the season. It's great to see Lucy back out here and booting home plenty of winners in that great form that she's riding in. Is currently $1.80 on the Tab Touch market. Runners are making their way in very nicely now into the barriers, so we'll hand you upstairs to Royce to call us home.
So Santa Bray, newcomer to Ross Craig's yard. Here comes Northern Ivy, who dons the black cap of the 2 Tapper runners engaged. So Mountain Ash to come forward. Thanks, Jesse, as Tab Radio joins us trackside here for race number 6 on the card. And Lucy is on the favourite here. She's looking for 4 winners this afternoon. She's been aboard Arshillelagh, Carnup Queen, Dublin Red in the previous. And now she's on the 185 pop Ryewood, who's been building to a win, but this is a horse that's in form on screen now, Scottish Laird. Looking for a hat-trick of wins. 16 starts for 6 wins. Never run a minor placing in its career from 16 starts. There goes Feuding, who's back in Kalgoorlie. Was placed with Dan Morton, now with Peter Fernie, and here's the favourite, Ryewood, with Lucy aboard to come forward and complete the line. So Ryewood comes along, and the red lights are on over at the mile. Stand by, we're set. This is race number 6, the Peter Palmer Memorial. Signal given, and the gates fly back. They're off, racing from the mile. Now with early speed off the inside, Callaroo working forward, likewise with Mountain Ash out wide. And up in that division as well, Scottish Laird. We've got Northern Ivy, he's going to be handy to the speed, and one more for Leo, just behind the leader on the fence. They were followed next of all by Ryewood, getting into a nice position midfield. The inside then Magical Rain, followed by Feuding, who's well back, together with the old fellow Dancing Jack, and a further 2 then to Santa Bray as they go past the 1,200 metres. And it's Scottish Laird who finds the front, leads out 3/4. Running second, Mountain Ash, third, Northern Ivy in the black cap. They were followed next of all by Callaroo, who strides together with one more for Leo, who's popped off the fence. They were followed next of all by Ryewood, who's spotting the leader 4 lengths in the middle stages of the race. The inside to Magical Rain, followed next of all by Feuding, who's third last. Second last, Dancing Jack, and last of all, Santa Bray. So 700 metres to run. They approach the Charles Street side of the course, and showing the way it's Scottish Laird. Scottish Laird out by a half a length now. The outside just edging closer. We've got Northern Ivy. They were followed next of all by Mountain Ash. One more for Leo, together with Ryewood, who's being put into the race early. They were followed next of all by Callaroo. Feuding starts to get warm. Well back then, we've got Magical Rain, Dancing Jack, and at the tail it's Santa Bray. So into the straight now, and it's Ryewood on the outside. Goes up and takes the lead for Lucy. Ryewood opens up a couple of lengths. Scottish Laird. Then we've got one more for Leo doing the chasing work with Feuding. It's Ryewood inside the 150. Nicely clear. Down the outside, Feuding running on together with Santa Bray jumping out of the ground, but it's all Ryewood, and Ryewood goes on and wins the 6. Second, Feuding. Third across the line, we've got Santa Bray, who's run a really nice race today. First running Cal. They were followed in by Callaroo, Dancing Jack. Next in at the head of the others, they were followed in by one more for Leo, Magical Rain. Scottish Laird just knocked up in that last furlong, and one of the last was Northern Ivy. Ryewood. That's 4 now for Lucy. And she'd win on a broomstick at the moment, Lucy. She's just riding so well. And that's 4 winners this afternoon. Ryewood back to her best, which is good to see. And just having a look in the last, Lucy's on jet planes for the family. One goes into the frame, Ryewood. Peter Fernie, Lucy Fiore brings up career win 6 at start 23 today. This Redwood mare from Rock on Rye. She's been a very handy horse for owner Andrew Ingles. Second across the line, the 3, Feuding. Good run, Peter Fernie, Braden Garth combining by Shooting to Win from Destination Tucson. Owned by Nick Carapalotti, G. Hawkins, Terry Layton. Also BJ Ryan, the 1-1 podcast. Also there, C. Wells, T. Dunn, B. McManus, C. Lawson, K. Coleman, A. Cooney, and also N. Addison. Third in is the 2. That's Santa Bray for Ross Craig and Chanel Cooper. Looks like they have a bit of fun with this one. By Manhattan Rain from My Sister Lil, owned by Frank Fiore, and also Mrs. J. Fiore. And fourth in is the 5. That's one more for Leo, Brett Drury, and Alex Hearn at 1, 3, 2, and 5. A length by a half. But Ryewood back to her best. Third up today has hit peak fitness and has done it with ease. A length victor in race 6. Race 7 is next. It's the RMW Property Group Handicap over the 1400. The one scratching is number 5, Style Diva. So we've got a field of 11 to run in the last. In the meantime, 1, 3, 2, 5. Let's jump down into the yard.
Thanks, Royce. Pete's unfortunately nursing a bit of a sore shoulder. I got a bit excited there and tapped him a bit too hard. But congratulations, Pete. Another Quinella and Ryewood getting the job done. Big run from Feuding as well. But let's talk on Ryewood now. Lucy looked very confident and it was a very good ride.
Yeah, she's most probably starting to look for a little bit more ground, and the way it's racing today, I said to Lucy, put her in the race a little bit earlier, and she gets beat by doing it, because I don't think you can be miles off them and actually win, so she drove it a treat. The other horse ran a really good race and first start for me, so I was really happy with him, and Rye would most probably go down to Luke in the near future, and she can have a few runs over some staying trips.
It looks like you said going to the metropolitan area I don't think would be a disgrace there at all. Looks a really nice type and would match the grade there. Feuding then, looking at obviously ran second and a bit further in the trip. Where do we go to next?
Haven't even had a look. I'll speak to all the owners, they're experts, so we'll find out.
Fantastic. And what about jet planes? Can Lucy have 5 winners on today's program?
I hope so, because I've told Justin it's improved a fair bit, so let's hope it can.
Best of luck. Hopefully chat to you after this one.
Thank you.
There's Pete Fernie. Lucy gets win number 4 on the board here today. It was a great win and a great result as well for all the punters at home.
Absolutely. Win number 4 for Lucy today. Lucy, it sounded like Pete was advising you pre-race that he was happy to put her into the race early. You did that, and she won really authoritatively.
Yeah, she did. There's probably not many horses you'd put into the race maybe that early, but I just know what she's like, and she'd offer nice. Like if you come around the bend on it going fast enough, she'll just keep kicking. I think when she gets her flow stemmed, that's when she gets beat.
She's won over 2,200 metres as well previously, so you'd think early in the campaign she's set for a really good preparation.
Yeah, for sure. She definitely runs through the line, and she's very, she settles lovely, and no, she's a really nice horse. I enjoy riding her.
Sounds like Pete's expecting improvement from jet planes in the last. You confident of being able to make it a high 5?
We will see.
Congratulations on the 4 so far. Good luck in the last.
Thank you.
There's Lucy Fiore, obviously loving being back at Kalgoorlie Boulder Racing Club. Takes out win number 4 on today's program. As just mentioned, she jumps aboard jet planes in the next. So Pete Fernie looking for a treble on today's program. He Quinella's here in the Rotary Club of Boulder. Peter Palmer Memorial Handicap over the 1,600 metres. Ryewood taking it out, the favourite at $1.80. Feuding in for second. Big run from Santa Bray, first up here today. And one more for Leo in for fourth.
Peter Palmer Memorial. Signal given. And the gates fly back. They're off.